see the old Don. Watch.
Hell yeah!
It's zombie time.
The Fate of the Furious.
For Sam Darry, he's brought greater physicality to his game this year. Here now, into the corner, he scored!
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TV1 News. I'm Jasmine Irujak.
And I'm Terry. Join me for all the sports at the end of the bulletin.
In this edition, Madang administrator clears misconception, teacher's appointment for 2025 rejected, and 2 Hunters players strike out. The Provincial Services Improvement Program funds for Madang Province has accumulated to more than 30 million kina, while waiting to be expanded on projects in the province. Provincial Administrator of Madang, Frank Lau, revealed this while addressing calls by the Provincial Finance Manager for Lau to release the provincial funds. Lau says systems and processes are there to guide their work, and he does not have the power to release PSIP funds, unless directed by the Joint Budget Planning and Priority Committee, of which the Governor, Ramsey Pariwa, is the chair.
Madang Provincial Administrator Frank Lau has been accused by the Provincial Finance Manager and the Governor for not releasing provincial funds for service delivery in the province. Lau, in response, highlighted the process involved in releasing PSIP funds, noting that these funds can only be released based on a resolution from the Joint Budget Planning and Priority Committee meeting, where projects are identified and the resolution submitted for the release of funds.
And in that meeting, the committee members, Emmet appoint him. He has to appoint committee members. And then he calls up the meeting and they attend the meeting. And then they resolute, and using that resolution, we collect the invoices and the claims and we sign them off upon that resolution. So if there's no resolution, there can't be any expenditure. Without that, he can't spend the PSIB. And this is, for all the members, it's general practice for all the politicians.
To date, Lau says only 1 meeting was held towards the end of last year, and projects valued at 8 million kina were identified, of which his office released the warrants for payment.
Just last year, the first meeting in Bradley, all the claim blame plus him, he presented all the checks, cocoa, and 5 million to, works, and all this money I'm presenting here, 2 million kina go school fee. That's the first meeting we spent this money. Then he has to hold another meeting and keep on spending the money, which is not, he's not doing.
He He also clarified that his office only releases warrants and is not responsible for releasing funds. That's the work of the Provincial Finance Office.
So the Provincial Finance Manager holds on to the money. I approve the claims. My job is to approve the claims, to see that due diligence has been processed, there's no foul play, there's no corruption. Then I go ahead and approve the claims. And then the Provincial Finance Manager issues the checks. That's how it's done. But in order for that to happen, if you look at the PSIB money, the member has to call up the meeting. Member sing out the meeting now to say milagi money go irrigation, milagi money go bridge, milagi money go up. Then people claim come now, people sign him now. Provincial Finance Manager rousing check come out.
Lau has now called on the governor to provide the leadership needed in the province and to work together with the provincial administration to develop the province.
Madang needs you to be the leader that you promised us to be during the election time, and we need you to step up. Provide the leadership so we will work. If you only want boom, no work. In the new year, the best new year message you would have given is for us to hold hands and work together.
He said the PSIP funds for Madang is now accumulated to 30 million kina and they need to set aside their differences and put those funds to good use instead of fighting each other. Ruth Rongola, TV1 News.
About 70,000 teachers are expected to resume this year and will commence work on the 20th of January 2025. Chairman of Teaching Service Commission Samson Wangihomi announced this today. The Teaching Service Commission is starting off the year today with the announcement of resumption for teachers and the issues with resumption of duty summary sheets.
We now have approximately 70,000 teachers, and we expect them to start in 2025 this year. Right, but then we're expecting about another 2,500 to 3,000 new teachers to join us in the teaching service, and we would like to welcome them on board into the teaching service. And for those who are continuing, we want to say thank you for 2024 and welcome them back to the teaching service.
TSC Chairman Samson Wangihomi announced the resumption of teachers to be on the 20th of January 2025 and classes begin on the 27th.
So our call for teachers who are posted to remote schools, right, they must go into the education division offices and resume on the same date. And so we want to thank provinces who have selflessly assisted in getting our teachers to the very remote and isolated schools to take up their teaching posts, and that is, we really appreciate that, and thank you very much to the provinces.
Wangihomi made a call to all teachers in the country to resume on time and fill out the resumption of duty summary sheets correctly so it does not affect payroll.
So teachers have to fill in the resumption of duty summary sheets correctly and have them into the offices. We call on the school principals to check that information before they submit them to the provincial education officers.
The Teaching Service Commission has rejected the 2025 teacher appointments for 6 provinces. From the total of 23 provinces, including NCD, 2025 teacher appointments for 17 provinces were approved. 3 provinces rejected for non-compliance, and another 3 also rejected because of issues with their provincial education boards. The Teaching Service Commission made these announcements today and said teachers from the 6 affected provinces will continue to act on their 2024 positions. The Teaching Service Commission's announcement today means all the 2025 teacher appointments for 3 provinces with PEB issues have not been gazetted.
But only for 3 provinces, they do not have the Provincial Education Board, which is the legal authority that ensures the appointments are done. So that's Southern Highlands, Gulf, and Madang. So unfortunately, this year they will not have the confirmation gazette, which would mean that those teachers will retain to their position from last year.
17 provinces whose appointments were successful for 2025 are Eastern Highlands Province, Western Highlands Province, Jiwaka, East New Britain Province, Autonomous Region of Bougainville, New Ireland Province, Manus, Sandown, Western, Kiunga, Lake Murray, Enga, Chimbu, Central, East Sepik Province, Hela, West New Britain Province, and Morobe. The Tenues for the other 3 provinces are being delayed due to non-compliance of TSC directions, and these provinces include Milne Bay, NCD, and Oro. All teachers to remain in their acting appointment, awaiting next round of vacancy gazettal.
And for Milne Bay, NCD, and Oro, if they don't hurry up, their teachers will also, we will direct them. We're not going to advise them, we're going to direct them to place the teachers back in the 2024 teaching positions.
Prime Minister James Marape has congratulated Winnie Kiap on her appointment as the new chair of the Commonwealth Foundation Board of Governors. Kiap's appointment marks a significant milestone for Papua New Guinea and the Pacific region. The Commonwealth Foundation is one of 3 key intergovernmental agencies of the Commonwealth, alongside the Commonwealth Secretariat and the Commonwealth of Learning. The Board of Governors include representatives from Commonwealth governments, high commissions based in London, civil society representatives, and the Commonwealth Secretary-General. The position of chair is traditionally held by a distinguished citizen from a Commonwealth member country and is appointed by the heads of government. This is TVWAN News. Maneke celebrates membership and cosmopolitan concerts. We'll have those stories and more after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook, and with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Welcome everyone, my name is Bhumi.
I won't let you give up on your dreams. You've worked so hard for them. You can easily find a job here in Ujjain.
A job? I think that you have made a mistake.
I think we should ask the children first.
In my family, we don't allow the children to overrule. They respect the decisions made by all of the elders.
Welcome back. Papua New Guinea has officially become a full member of the Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries, or CPOPC, as of December the 30th, 2024. This historic achievement elevates PNG to the ranks of leading global palm oil producers, including Malaysia, Indonesia, and Honduras, marking a transformative moment for the nation's agriculture sector. Minister for Palm Oil, Francis Maneke, celebrated this significant milestone, emphasizing its alignment with the international sustainability standards and PNG's national development priorities.
The announcement follows the formal presentation of PNG's instrument of accession, a process driven by the collective efforts of the government, industry stakeholders, and international partners. Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke says this is not just a milestone, but a strategic move that strengthens PNG's position in the global oil palm market. He explained that by becoming a member of CPOPC, PNG reaffirms its commitment to sustainable development while enhancing opportunities for smallholders and rural communities who depend on this vital sector. The minister highlighted that the oil palm industry is the cornerstone of PNG's agriculture sector, contributing approximately 2 billion kina annually, with smallholder growers accounting for 33.6% of production. CPOPC membership will empower these smallholders by improving representation, providing access to technical support, and driving productivity gains. As a member of CPOPC, PNG is committed to adopting global best practices, including compliance with the European Union's deforestation-free supply chain regulations and Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, or RSPO, standards. Minister Maneke emphasized that this alignment with international standards not only opens access to critical markets, but also reinforces the industry's dedication to protecting PNG's pristine environment and ensuring the long-term competitiveness of the palm oil sector. Maneke reiterated the government's unwavering support for smallholder growers, emphasizing that their success is vital to the nation's broader economic and sustainability goals. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
Prime Minister Marape has extended verbal invitations to heads of governments of various countries through their representative heads of mission in Papua New Guinea to join the country mark its 50th independence anniversary. The invitations are in respect of these countries' long-established ties with PNG and their contributions in various sectors to PNG's development over the years. The invitations will be formally communicated to each government soon after. The invitations were given during a meeting the Prime Minister held with High Commissioners and ambassadors from Australia, China, South Korea, United States of America, France, United Kingdom, Malaysia, Philippines, Fiji, Solomon Islands, the Vatican and European Union Wednesday in Port Moresby. The Cosmopolitan is set to ignite Papua New Guinea's entertainment scene with a concert you won't want to miss. For the first time, international artists Blanco, Bibao and Roughneck will grace the stage this Saturday, January the 11th, 2025, delivering an electrifying night of music and good vibes.
The Cosmopolitan kicks off 2025 in grand style, as for the first time ever in Papua New Guinea, international sensations Blanc.O or Blanco, Bibao and Roughneck will take the stage this Saturday, January 11th. The Cosmopolitan, renowned as the home of local concerts and a supporter of PNG's music talent, continues to expand its platform by hosting regional artists and fostering the entertainment industry. Lester Bibao Kisina, better known as Bibao, is a Solomon Island star who rose to fame as a finalist in the 2024 Pacific Break. With over a decade of experience as a songwriter and singer, Bibao's music blends his life experiences creativity, and versatility. He will also perform All Workout, a soulful anthem of belief, resilience, and determination, reflecting his journey from the slums of Honiara to the spotlight.
I'll be performing like a bunch of songs from like 5 years ago to 7 years ago to the songs I just recently released. So yeah, it's going to be dope set like for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward.
Blanco is a dynamic artist whose journey began in 2006. Known for his collaborations with renowned musicians like Jaboy, Blanco gained fame with hits like Champion. A passionate artist and former hip-hop dancer with the Teardrops crew, Blanco's blend of talent and charisma ensures a captivating performance.
Thank you too much for having us here. Our main purpose to come here is to, visit one of my favorite places to visit, PNG, and first time here. And then also I want to come do a good show for you fans out here.
Roughneck, often described as the most unique voice from the Solomon Islands, has carved a successful solo career after his time with the 56 Hop Rod group. His collaborations span big names like Sean Ray, Zia, and international stars such as Conqueror and Anthony B. Known for his natural stage presence, Roughneck promises an unforgettable show.
I think I'll give all my best on Saturday night, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Tickets for this highly anticipated event are available exclusively at the Cosmopolitan. The Cosmopolitan invites music lovers to be part of this historic, amazing night, celebrating talent and creativity and the opportunity to experience great entertainment. Carol Kido Jr., TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2496 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2421 US, $0.3873 Australian dollars, $0.2274 euro, and 38.06 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, oil closed lower, except gold and copper closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower. You're watching TV1 News. We'll have news from overseas when we return. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
24-hour service. Always there when we need them the most. They risk their lives to save mine. They are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. They are our everyday heroes. St. John Ambulance, trusted to care.
That's up in the air, Todman underneath it. And India strike already.
Well, this is better. Warner on one leg.
That's a shot we've seen him play many times.
Oh no, and it's gone through.
Oh my goodness, what a blinder that is. That is absolutely sensational.
At Digicel PNG Foundation, we are proud to announce the launch of another round of the community grants. a significant initiative aimed at empowering local communities to solve their own problems.
From the time we launched this initiative in 2019, we have given 92 grants totaling 4.5 million kina to over 70 organizations around the country. These local organizations have connected communities to water sources for the first time, built waiting homes for pregnant mothers, literacy centers for communities, health clinics in remote areas, classroom for students, and safe houses for women at risk of violence.
At Digicel, we're not just connecting people, we're empowering communities.
Applications are now open.
Thanks for staying with us. Friends of hiker Hadi Nazari, who was found safe after being lost in Kosciuszko National Park for almost 2 weeks, have thanked search crews and the people that found him. The 23-year-old went missing on Boxing Day while hiking with friends and survived on 2 muesli bars and foraged berries.
The atmosphere here at G High is completely different to what it was less than 24 hours ago. Hadi Nazari, as we know, has been found. He was found near an area of Blue Lake around Carruthers Saddle, which is 10 kilometres from here as the crow flies, although that doesn't mean much because the bushland that he has been walking through is incredibly dense and thick and steep. He was found yesterday afternoon by hikers in the area. Then he was given a lift by a helicopter back here to G High, which was the base camp of operations, where between Cairn Coburn and Thredbo, where he was treated by paramedics and reunited with his friends. It was absolutely lovely to see and very surprising that he seemed physically relatively okay. We heard he had some scratches and some grazes and he was a bit dehydrated. We heard that he basically survived on water these past 2 weeks but managed to find a couple of muesli bars in a hut in the Snowy Mountains at some point in his journey, and he also foraged for berries. But from a distance we observed Hadi reunite with his friends. It was a very emotional moment. You know, the searchers that were involved in this operation over the past couple of weeks let out a round of applause a few times, a hip hip hooray. There was an air of celebration and the atmosphere had really lightened once Hadi had been found. A few of his friends came running over when they did reunite with Hadi. One of them told us that he thought it was a miracle that he had been found. Take a listen to what another friend said.
I'm kind of like in a shock and like full of happiness. He's a hero, like 14 days without food, like he's doing like perfectly well.
Hadi, as far as we know, remains in Cooma Hospital, which is a 2-hour drive away from here at G High, and he remains there for the time being, undergoing some treatment. Police say that they want to do a bit of a debriefing session with Hadi over the next couple of days, but Hadi did reveal to them that he had been walking from morning until night. Goodness knows what he has been through these past couple of weeks, surviving in the wilderness for as long as he has. He does have family down in Melbourne, so no doubt he's going to try and make it down back to his hometown as soon as he can once he is well. But those involved in the search are relieved that he is okay. And yeah, there is a sense of accomplishment that Hadi has been found after 2 weeks of searching.
10,000 Australians are becoming homeless each month as the housing crisis and cost of living pressures tip more people out of stable accommodation. In Adelaide, outreach teams are connecting the city's rough sleepers to services in a bid to find pathways to a permanent home. Agencies are also preparing to activate code red alerts when temperature spikes, opening cool spaces to keep people safe from extreme heat.
In a pocket of Adelaide's parklands, a small group of homeless men have banded together to run a makeshift camp, helping each other with the basics and acting as a support network.
You could say we're a democracy almost. Everybody has their say here, and you know, you'd be amazed at conversations that can actually happen around it.
Sticking together is also a matter of safety in numbers as they survive life rough sleeping.
There's no way to describe to someone who hasn't been homeless what it's like.
Hugh has been living on the streets for more than a decade.
A house and a home, it's a very definite wall and line between what's yours, a space that's yours, and the rest of the world. If you don't have that, there's no relaxing.
For Mick, he became homeless 4 years ago after his nearly 20-year marriage broke down.
Been times where, you know, just even doing the simplest things become hard.
Also helping Mick and Hugh through the hard times are outreach teams who check in on the city's 200 or so rough sleepers and try to connect them to services, and they're meeting more and more people. Across the country, homelessness has surged by 22% in the last 3 years.
There's a population of people who are exceptionally vulnerable to systems and to changes that we see through the rental market, changes that we see in cost of living crisis, and that is the population that experience rough sleeping.
On days of extreme heat this summer, code reds will be declared, activating services, including call centres to escape dangerous temperatures.
The outreach teams become really important in getting the message out to people who are sleeping rough, that there is some really extreme weather coming, but also that there are options available for shelter.
And in centres like this one in Adelaide CBD, several agencies are working under the one roof, trying to get people off the streets.
Okay then, I'll give you a call then.
Each success in finding someone a home is celebrated. While homelessness is a complex and challenging issue, it's also a major concern for many communities, worried or frustrated by antisocial behaviour like fighting and drug use, all of which are valid issues, say those in the sector, but they're appealing for understanding.
I think every community that has rough sleeping populations or homelessness can get really distressed about it, and often we hear, not in my backyard.
All right, no worries. Thank you very much.
What I would say is that services are there to support, and everybody deserves a home and everyone deserves dignity.
Mick is fighting to get back into a stable home, a process he knows will take one step at a time.
Once you hit rock bottom, there's only really one way to go, isn't there?
There are calls for more restrictions on Aboriginal royalty payments. Australia's Shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister Jacinta Price has described Aboriginal royalty payments as passive welfare.
It's payment for the use of Aboriginal land. But the Shadow Indigenous Australians Minister says royalty money is passive welfare that contributes to crime in the community.
Even as Deputy Mayor, we saw the impacts of royalties distribution and the sale and purchase of alcohol and the increase in violence and behaviour such as that.
Other local Indigenous leaders are concerned the money is sparking division and isn't going where it's needed the most.
I think that causes mayhem in places like Alice Springs.
Senator Price today urged the Commonwealth to answer the NT government's calls to restrict royalty distributions, including paying the money out in remote communities instead of Alice Springs. She also reiterated long-standing calls for an inquiry into land councils.
They don't want to rock the boat when it comes to powerful organisations such as land councils that have effectively, campaigned on measures on their behalf.
In a statement, Central Land Council said constituents have been opting to use a growing share of their income from land use agreements for community benefit projects. To date, CLC constituents have committed more than $255 million of their income to almost 2,800 projects. CLC also said police haven't reported any increased violence at royalty meetings in recent years, which are mostly held out bush. The NT government today repeating calls for stricter policing of the payments.
Just having that massive big dump of money into an environment in one section without any controls around it is very bad for the community.
The federal government has been contacted for comment.
Campers remain at an evacuation centre in Victoria's southwest after an overnight bushfire threatened Cape Otway near the Great Ocean Road.
As campers slept in the Otway National Park, a bushfire took hold.
Everyone in the campsite was asleep sort of thing, and then all of a sudden you hear a bit of a commotion, and then you hear these words of fire, fire.
At 3 o'clock we got the evacuation notice, and that's when we got our fire plan, action plan going, and we did an amazing job, I think.
The owners of the Bimby campsite led 150 campers through the dark to the safety of an evacuation centre in Apollo Bay.
We basically just took our passports and some money and, left.
At the Blanket Bay campground, closed roads meant many couldn't get out. More than 100 forced to sit tight. Dozens more along the Great Ocean Road Trail were told to hike to the Cape Otway Lighthouse.
Bit of an adventure. Happy that someone was telling us there was a fire.
Just weird because we're from Sydney and this doesn't happen very often in Sydney.
The fire burnt quickly through 14 hectares of bush.
The bush is dry, so fires that do start do have the potential to become and grow really quickly.
But with 60 firefighters and 28 trucks on the ground, it was under control by mid-morning. The source of the blaze is yet to be determined, but crews on the ground suspect it was sparked by a campfire.
There was lots of campfires being lit by visitors to the area who don't understand the potential for fires that we've had.
Some campers are being allowed back onto their sites tonight, while others will have to wait until roads are assessed and reopened in the coming days. While the danger here has passed for now, it's another demonstration of the hazards lurking in Victoria's bushland this summer.
Record prisoner numbers following the NT government's tough on crime legislation changes are clogging up the territory's courts, leaving lawyers in the dark about what charges their clients are facing. Lawyers say the backlog could impact community safety after a number of remand prisoners were almost released ahead of their first court appearance on Wednesday.
Watch house to the courthouse, the Territory's push to incarcerate a record number of people is taking its toll.
As we speak, more and more people are being arrested, less and less people are getting bail from the police watch houses.
Today, inside the busiest courtroom in the Northern Territory, lawyers scrambled to manage 39 in custody matters, 8 of those left over from yesterday as the backlog mounts. On 2 occasions, defence lawyers telling the court they didn't even know what their clients had been charged with. Judge Tanya Fong Lim saying she would be forced to release those whose paperwork wasn't completed.
Everybody has the right to know what the case against them is, but more broadly, if we don't know what that person's accused of and they're going to be released at 12 o'clock, that's not making the community safe.
2 days ago, NT Prisons hit a new record capacity of 2,628 inmates. Tougher bail laws and new weapons offences known as Declan's Law, which came into force on Monday, yet another layer to this ever-growing pile of pressures.
It's going to choke up the court system and it's going to lead to injustice.
Today, the Territory's largest Aboriginal legal service, NAJA, reported a record 1,276 notifications of Aboriginal people being taken into custody in December last year. They also said they were unable to visit 131 people inside the Palmerston Watch House that same month.
People are being packed in like sardines to a system that's breaking at the seams.
We are seeing a huge increase in demand, but that is the point, that we need to ensure that we are keeping our community safe.
Specialist domestic violence services warning if people are released prematurely, it's likely the safety of women and children will be at risk.
The system isn't currently set up to even hear that matter. It's very unlikely that the victim survivors, the women and children impacted by that offending, are being advised of that person's release.
The government sticking to the plan in the face of compounding crises.
And that ends the news segment. Later in Sports with Terry, Dabaris returned to training and Olam concern over PNG NRL's plans.
Every day, 180 million litres of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this water treatment plant. Every day, raw water is filtered, disinfected and purified so that you and your loved ones have access to clean, usable water. For 65 years, our water treatment technology has been hard at work, but now it needs to hit pause. Port Moresby's population has increased 500% since the treatment plant was built, putting enormous pressure on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water you use and consume continues to be safe. This January, Water PNG announces water rationing in Port Moresby. Yes, this is inconvenient, but safety comes first. A temporary discomfort for an investment in the future. We are upgrading for cleaner, safer water for all. Support us in this period by planning, rationing and conserving water. For more information, visit our Facebook page.
It's Digicel Sell Money Million Kina Mania!
Say what?
Yes! Join Sell Money or make a Sell Money transaction of 5 Kina or more to win your share in over 1 million Kina cash and prizes. 3 cash prizes of 30,000 Kina. 100 winners of 1,000 Kina. There's Huawei 4G smartphones, 500 Kina shopping vouchers, loads of daily prizes, and free one-talk bundles for new Sell Money customers. Dial *888# to activate your Sell Money wallet or make a Sell Money transaction of 5 Kina or more for your chance to win. Only with Sell Money, a product of Digicel.
Ika to tabik plapati baka mapa?
No, me not think that one pa. Wait, Pastor, don't wanna know you to ask him. It's for all of us, for everyone here.
The children these days are spineless.
My family will not support me every time.
They will pay for what they did.
I can tell from her voice and by the way that she moves, she's not okay. I would know.
You got one man where walk height inside the triangle star.
And thank you for staying with us. The 2024 Lower Mimanalo Rugby League competition in the Eastern Highlands province has been hailed a success, and the organisers and sponsors hope for another tournament towards the end of the year. The 12 teams participated in the 2024 season, which started in December 2024 and concluded last week.
Mimanalo in the Gahuku Rural Local Level Government in Goroka District hosted a successful rugby league tournament that attracted participation from youths throughout the LLG. The tournament, which concluded peacefully with no violence or disruption to the games, also provided an avenue for young men to showcase their skills and talents. President of the rugby league tournament, Pius Koko, praised the participating teams for displaying great sportsmanship. He said the behavior only demonstrates their interest in sports, and he will organize another tournament later in the year.
Next day, you come back. How about me to know? Then plus you come back. Because passing you plus me. Rugby no fight. Why you start fight? Now you win or lose, no bike you want something. One block rice makes you not go. I'm not fight. I'm block this like I know. I mean, how much to be every plus. So next day, come plus people. Thank you.
Andrew Hammer, the managing director of Trademark, who was the major sponsor of the tournament, expressed how much sporting events can help young men become better citizens in the community, and is anticipating some of the players to one day represent the community at the PNG National Rugby League competition level.
You me educate him all yampla, blue me house line, lol mas kaya good, look out in tintin blogol, passin blogol. So the demol asset no community na family. So all must have good, all must kaya good, all must talk about good also, more good play yampla inside the community. Promote him, expose him all yampla all hidden talents blue me lo. Rural community blue me lo mimalo, you me can bring him all come up, no this like stage so that all can represent nagol all national competition. Namiga big la Billy Bolsem. All going away country stop lawyer. Now Lego brothers all stop lawyer. Me Billy Bolsem 2025. All but representing Low Mimano Rugby League tournament. Junior Manmeril Low Mimano Nagoroka district. Now go play Lorapla Diesel Cup competition.
Captains of Hegu Brothers and Hohu Kave Country, the finalists in the tournament, thanked sponsors, players and everyone involved in making the tournament successful. The Mimanalo Rugby League tournament started on December 5th and ended first week of January 2025. The grand final was played at the Sir Danny Leahy Oval. Rex Lita, TVWAN Sports.
One of the entertaining teams in the 2024 Digital Action Mobile Cup Rugby League competition, Central Dabaris, has started its pre-season training. Central Dabaris coach Solomon Kuluniasi said the team began its training with over 40 players, both contracted and new players, as the club hopes to improve performance in the 2024 competition. The Central Dabaris finished the 2024 competition just outside the top 6, missing out on the finals for the second consecutive year. Despite this, the club boasted some individual achievements, with Manu Manuva making the Hunters pre-season squad. Bartholomew Avi had a breakout season, and More More Jr. earned a Cowboys train and trial deal. The franchise club has some existing talents in the mix as a pre-season training, and are expected to unleash them in the 2024 competition. The Central Dabaris head coach Solomon Kuluniasi applauds the club for securing the services of PNG Hunters duo Alex Max and Kosa Bandi for the 2025 Digital Action Mobile Cup season. The Dabaris had reached an agreement with the Hunters to secure the two players who are currently sidelined from the PNG Hunters pre-season training. Both joined the Dabaris at their first pre-season training on Monday.
The involvement of SP PNG Hunters and PNG Kumuls players Alex Max and Koso Bandi with the Central Dabaris will add depth, size and experience to the Dabaris outfit, giving them prime position for a big season this year. Both featured in the 2024 Pacific Bowl Championship and helped the PNG Kumuls retain the bowl title. The former Rabaul Gurus Max bends oppositions with his blistering speed on the edge. Bandi, on the other hand, was the best forward for Kumuls in the 2024 Pacific Bowl Championship. He carried his best form from the Hunters into the representative team and didn't look out of place throughout his first campaign in the Kumuls colours. Both players, while still contracted to the Hunters, were sidelined for disciplinary reasons and are expected to return to Hunters training next week. The Central Dabaris were so close to making the top 6 last year, but their late decline in form denied them the chance to play finals football. The Dabaris are already looking stacked with the 2 Hunters in the squad and an experienced coach guiding the team. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The SPPNG Hunters resumed Block 2 of the pre-season training this week after breaking camp for the festive holidays. Under the watchful eyes of head coach Paul Ayton and his coaching staff, the team has not been finalized yet due to various important factors, including injury to key players and a couple of suspensions for ill discipline. However, intensity at the training has picked up since Monday, with a nice vibe among the boys who are happy and in good shape to embrace the final leg of the pre-season, culminating in a couple of trials ahead of the March kickoff. After a grueling 6 to 8 weeks of Block 1 training, everyone is back on deck for Block 2 of the pre-season program, minus a number of players who did not come back either due to opportunities, studies or disciplinary issues. Hunters coach Paul Ayton said he is happy with the condition and shape the boys are in at the moment after spending time with their families during the festive period. However, when giving a head count today at training, Ayton said they had an initial squad of 39, but it's been a bit of a roller coaster during pre-season with 14 players not available. Some have had injuries, and it's a bit concerning as most of those players are experienced ones. But that also gives an opportunity for new players to put their hands up. Commenting on how the boys are embracing the first week of Block 2, Ayton said, "There's a nice vibe in camp and it's been good so far."
Really good. It's good to see the boys. Really, it's only 2 weeks, but you know you've kind of missed them. You know, you spend a lot of time with each other, and we are a Hunters family, so you know I think everyone was happy to get back into training. Maybe not after the first day, but yeah, it's really good to see the boys. All of them came back in shape. You know, just a couple very lightly out of shape, but it's really good. I'm really happy. So that means they looked after themselves when they were away from footy. So that's really important for us.
In terms of finalising the team, Coach Ayton explained they have processes in place with plans to have opposed sessions, which would include internal trials, 1 Dem Cup and 2 Q Cup trials, 1 home and 1 away, somewhere in February before the season starts in March.
We haven't finalised everything, but we should have an internal trial again, possibly a Dem Cup trial again, just to help us with numbers. So probably go internal, Dem Cup, then we should have two trials, possibly 1 at home, 1 away. So it's very rare to get 2 trials, but we've been getting it last year, now this year, so it's pretty good there. Pretty lucky.
Ayton also revealed they might be looking at a final 30-man squad, but with all the injuries, including Alex and Gosso out as well, they might take more than 30. He also acknowledged the inclusion of a number of young boys from the PNG NRL School Academy joining the camp for the pre-season, which is good for their future development and to get a first taste of what it's like training at an elite level. 2 of the PNG Hunters' main strike weapons from the 2024 playing group have been stood down by the Hunters management for disciplinary matters during off-season. Promising young prop Kosobanti, who had a breakout 2024 season making the national team the Kumals for the Pacific Championships, and Hunters imposing utility centre back rower Alex Max did not make it back for the Block 2 Hunters pre-season. They had a fallout with coach during festive break, which was against the Code of Ethics and not in the best interest of the club. Speaking at the first Hunters media opportunity for 2025, Hunters coach Paul Ayton said the boys have been released temporarily from the Hunters training squad to local franchise Central Dabaris under head coach Solomon Kuluniasi.
Action on, but they're with the Dabaris. They're training really well. We've got a really good connection with Dabaris, especially with Solomon Kuluniasi as head coach. He knows what it's like. He knows what it means to be a hunter. He's been with the organisation for a very long time. So he looked after the boys for us for some weeks, and they'll be joining us once they realise how good and how important and what a good opportunity it is to be a hunter.
Papua New Guinea's most prominent NRL player, Justin Olam, has doubled down on his concerns over the league's plans to create a team in the Pacific nation. No player wants the league's audacious expansion into Port Moresby more than West Tigers centre Olam, the only man to graduate from the PNG Hunters Queensland Cup program onto an NRL debut. The PNG-born and raised Olam last year warned against fast-tracking a team's entry into the NRL, given the limited pathway programs currently set up in the country. Since issuing this warning last year, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his PNG counterpart James Marape have shaken hands to confirm a PNG team would enter the league from 2028, propped up by 600 million Australian taxpayers' funding over 10 years. Some 250 million of that money will be used to establish rugby league pathways in the Pacific. As it stands, only 12-team DDSL ExxonMobil Cup provides a formal pipeline for PNG players to begin their professional careers. Grassroots junior programs are way behind their Australian and New Zealand equivalents, with Olam still unconvinced PNG is ready for the leap into the NRL. Speaking to AAP, the PNG International still stands by what he said that PNG as a country needs to develop their local footy first. Olam said he is not someone who has the power to make decisions. He said the deal's done and it's going to give opportunities to young boys and girls back home. Olam's other chief concern centres around living situations for players relocating to Port Moresby, where robbery, assault and car hijacking are much more common than in Australia. As part of the expansion plan, the PNG government will be required to build a safe housing compound for players and their families. It's going to be good if they do it properly. He hopes whoever's leading the project is doing it properly for the club as well and for the game. Contracted at the Tigers through to 2026, Olam will be 34 and in the twilight of his career by the time PNG's as yet unnamed team plays its first premiership game. A PNG homecoming would be a fitting final chapter in a fairy tale career for Olam, who grew up in a remote village playing footy with a sand filled with water bottle. But the premiership winner is unsure his troublesome knee will hold up that long. And that's all the sports for today. We now rejoin Jasmine for all the weather updates.
Regional forecast. Southern Port Moresby cloudy periods with possible few patchy showers. Alotau mostly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Momase lay mostly fine. Wewak cloudy periods with possible brief showers. New Guinea Islands, Kavian cloudy periods with few rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Kokoporo Baal partly cloudy with brief showers, drizzles. Highlands, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Barnes and Kundiawa mostly cloudy with few showers. Menditarian Wabeg cloudy with some showers. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea, sea smooth to moderate with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, sea slight to moderate with northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea smooth with northwest to northerly winds of 5 to 10 knots. Pacific Ocean, sea slight with northeast to northwest winds of 10 to 15 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of Samara Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, Huon Gulf to Finchefin through Vitia Strait to CRC Long Island to Madang, and waters of West New Britain, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and waters of New Ireland to East New Britain to Bougainville, sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that ends TV1 News. Pleasant viewing. Good night.
Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.